Imagine a future where humans have superpowers thanks to technology. Gadgets that let us see in the dark, hear ultra-high frequencies, or even control objects with our minds. These scientific lectures explore just that, how cutting-edge tech like brain-computer interfaces and augmented reality brings us closer to abilities we once thought was only for superheroes. For instance, devices like exoskeletons give people superhuman strength by acting like a second layer of muscles, while mind-controlled gadgets turn thoughts into actions, much like telekinesis. Through examples and easy analogies, we'll dive into how tech is making us faster, smarter, and able to see and feel things beyond our natural senses. Our eyes are limited to detecting only visible light, which spans a small part of the electromagnetic spectrum. AR technology equipped with special sensors can extend this range, enabling us to perceive ultraviolet, UV, or infrared, IR, light. Infrared, for example, helps us see heat, while UV can reveal biological materials that fluoresce under certain lighting conditions. Firefighters use thermal imaging AR goggles to navigate through smoke and detect heat signatures, locating people in emergencies where visibility is low. Analogy. Imagine only being able to hear certain musical notes. AR is like adding an amplifier that enables you to hear, or in this case, see, additional notes beyond what was naturally possible, providing a richer, more informative visual experience. Exoskeletons are wearable devices with powered mechanical structures that work alongside human muscles, amplifying the wearer's strength and endurance. They integrate sensors and motors that sync with muscle movement, allowing the exoskeleton to assist in tasks requiring strength and stability. The military and industrial sectors use exoskeletons to help workers lift heavy objects with a minimal strain on their bodies. In healthcare, they allow individuals with physical disabilities to regain mobility, assisting in walking and movement. Think of an exoskeleton as a second layer of muscle that a person wears, like donning a superhero suit. Just as Iron Man's suit amplifies Tony Stark's physical abilities, these exoskeletons provide the wearer with added strength and endurance. BCIs use EEG, electroencephalography, to record brainwaves, translating them into commands that control external devices. Machine learning algorithms interpret brain signals associated with specific thoughts or intentions, turning thoughts into actions, like moving a robotic arm. A paralysed person can wear a BCI headset to control a wheelchair simply by thinking about the direction they wish to move. Similar setups allow users to type on screens or control prosthetic limbs with their thoughts. It's like using a remote control to operate a device, except here, the brain itself is the controller. It's as if your thoughts are the buttons, and when you press one, the device responds. Neurotropics are cognitive enhancers, substances that can boost brain functions like memory, focus, and motivation. Meanwhile, neurostimulation techniques like transcranial direct current stimulation, TDCS, use electrical currents to stimulate specific brain regions, enhancing mental agility and focus. Gamers and professionals use neurostimulation devices for better focus during high-stakes activities. Clinical studies have shown that these devices can improve attention span and cognitive control for individuals with ADHD. Imagine your brain is like a computer processor. Neurotropics are like upgrading the hardware to boost performance, while neurostimulation is like overclocking the processor temporarily to maximise speed and efficiency. Neural synchronization occurs when the brain waves of two people align or sync up, a phenomenon sometimes observed between musicians, teammates, or couples in close connection. Gadgets using EEG can amplify this, allowing one person to feel or interpret another's emotional state. EEG-based devices are being developed for therapists to better understand a client's emotional state in real time, improving empathetic communication. Think of two musical instruments being tuned to the same frequency, creating harmony. Neural synchronization is like syncing two minds on the same frequency, which enhances understanding and empathy, creating a kind of emotional telepathy. Biohacking extends the natural senses through technology, giving us access to experiences otherwise outside our physical limits. For example, ultrasonic hearing devices allow users to hear sounds beyond the human range, while magnetic implants let them detect electromagnetic fields. Surgeons can use enhanced vision devices to magnify blood vessels during operations, seeing more detail than the naked eye would allow. In another case, a magnet implant in a fingertip can enable someone to feel magnetic fields. Imagine a piano with only a limited number of keys, each representing a sensory perception. Biohacking is like adding new keys to this piano, allowing us to play a broader range of notes or perceptions, thereby broadening our experience. Neurofeedback devices monitor brain activity and provide feedback, training users to adjust their neural responses for faster reaction times. Over time, users can improve cognitive speed, making quicker decisions and physical responses. Neurofeedback has been used by athletes to improve performance by helping them train their minds to enter flow states, where they respond instinctively without delay. Think of it like a video game, where you're gradually leveling up your character's reaction time. Neurofeedback teaches the brain to act faster, like hitting the turbo button in a race, enhancing reaction speed. Lucid dreaming devices use mild electrical stimulation or sound cues to make the sleeper aware they're dreaming, allowing them to control their dream environment. Lucid dreaming can be a powerful tool for self-reflection and creativity, unlocking hidden areas of the subconscious. Therapists use lucid dreaming as a way to help people overcome recurring nightmares or practice real-life skills in a controlled, safe environment within their dreams. It's like being the director of a movie that takes place in your mind. Normally, dreams play out on their own, but lucid dreaming lets you take control, like rewriting the plot to shape your experience and learn about yourself. Quantum sensors detect minuscule environmental changes that elude traditional sensors, such as gravitational fields or magnetic anomalies. They allow humans to perceive what's been previously undetectable, like a sixth sense for subtle environmental shifts. Quantum magnetometers have been used to detect underground minerals and archaeological sites based on tiny magnetic field shifts. This technology could one day allow us to sense disturbances in our surroundings that we currently overlook. Think of it as gaining an instinct for change in your surroundings. Like how animals sense approaching danger, these sensors give humans access to hidden clues, adding a new layer to our perception. Wearable biotech uses devices like infrared light therapy or electrical stimulators to accelerate healing by increasing blood flow and stimulating cellular repair. These devices work at the cellular level to repair tissue, enhancing the body's natural regenerative capabilities. Athletes use wearable light therapy to reduce inflammation and speed recovery after injuries, while physical therapy patients benefit from devices that promote faster muscle recovery. Imagine the body as a city where wear and tear needs constant repair. These biotech devices are like sending out repair crews that can work faster and more effectively, reducing downtime and promoting regeneration. VR and cognitive technology can alter our sense of time by immersing us so deeply that time seems to move faster or slower. Cognitive tech can modulate the brain's rhythm, changing how we perceive the duration of an experience. VR headsets are used in therapy to help manage chronic pain by distorting time perception, making the patient feel like they've spent less time in pain. Time manipulation in VR is like watching a movie that makes 2 hours feel like 20 minutes. Just as a great story can make time feel faster or slower, VR tech can bend our perception of time, altering our experience of reality. Echolocation involves emitting sounds and interpreting the echoes that bounce back from surrounding objects. Some gadgets convert visual information into soundscapes that allow the brain to interpret spatial surroundings based on audio cues, a process similar to how bats navigate. Devices like the Sonic Eye use ultrasonic waves to detect obstacles and convert this feedback into sound. Blind individuals can then learn to see objects based on the sounds created, giving them a way to navigate safely. Think of echolocation as creating a mental map from echoes. It's like listening to sounds bouncing around in a large cave and deducing the shapes of objects in the dark, using sound to paint a picture in your mind. Brain-to-brain interfaces, BBIs, use neural recording and stimulation devices to transmit thoughts directly from one mind to another. Scientists are exploring how to translate neural activity associated with specific words or concepts into signals that another brain can interpret. In experimental settings, participants have been able to communicate simple ideas using BBIs, bypassing speech or writing. This technology could one day enable people with disabilities to communicate thoughts without the need for vocalization. It's like Wi-Fi for the brain, where thoughts are transmitted directly without needing words as an intermediary. Instead of typing a message, you're sending the idea directly, like a mental email to another person. Neurostimulation devices can influence specific brain regions to help regulate mood and emotional states. Techniques like transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS, or transcranial direct current stimulation, TDCS, apply mild currents to targeted areas to help alleviate depression, anxiety, or chronic stress. Wearable devices like Think and Muse are designed for personal mood control, using electrical signals to stimulate relaxation or boost focus. Imagine having a remote control for your emotions. Just as you can change the lighting or temperature in a room to create a specific atmosphere, these devices allow you to dial up or dial down specific feelings, giving you more control over your mental environment. Decision-making gadgets equipped with AI analyse vast amounts of data in real time, providing insights that enhance human intuition. These systems can detect subtle patterns and correlations that are invisible to human perception, aiding in decision-making that feels instinctual but is data-driven. Financial and healthcare professionals use predictive analytics to anticipate trends or risks, which might otherwise seem like a sixth sense to outsiders. Think of it as an intuition enhancer. Just as a GPS guides you through complex routes, AI-driven intuition boosters act as internal compasses, subtly guiding you toward better decisions based on hidden data insights. Neural language processors, theoretically possible in the future, would directly stimulate the language centres of the brain to accelerate language acquisition. These implants would help users quickly learn new languages by enhancing neural plasticity and creating artificial pathways for language understanding. Although currently in experimental stages, language learning headsets like SoundHawk and Pilot translate languages in real time, creating a step toward real-time, multilingual communication. Imagine putting in a language USB drive. Rather than studying vocabulary and grammar over years, this implant uploads the linguistic information directly to your brain, like instantly downloading an app. Biofeedback devices monitor physiological states such as heart rate variability, brain waves, and breathing patterns, providing real-time feedback that helps users enter flow states, moments of peak mental focus and productivity. Devices like FlowTime and Muse use biofeedback to help users manage their mental states, which is particularly useful for athletes, artists, and professionals in high-performance fields who rely on optimal focus. Imagine a focus coach that constantly whispers cues to keep your mind on track. Just as a personal trainer helps you reach peak physical performance, these biofeedback devices help guide your mental state to reach peak cognitive performance. Remote sensing technologies connected to virtual reality headsets enable users to experience real-time data from distant locations. This technology is used in applications like drone piloting, where users can see and feel environments far away. Surgeons use remote-controlled robots for surgeries performed from thousands of miles away. Likewise, VR-controlled drones allow users to explore remote environments, such as archaeological sites, without ever leaving their labs. It's like having a virtual body in another location. Imagine extending your senses to a distant area, perceiving sights, sounds, and even tactile information through a surrogate presence that gives you a remote sensory experience. Devices that generate controlled electromagnetic fields can move metal objects or interact with electronic systems. This type of synthetic telekinesis can be achieved through wearable devices that generate fields strong enough to interact with conductive materials. Industrial workers use electromagnetic wands to pick up and move heavy metal objects on production lines, effectively manipulating objects without direct contact. Imagine having an invisible force field you can control, almost like a magnetic extension of your own hands, allowing you to push, pull, and lift objects with invisible energy. The concept of uploading consciousness to a digital format involves recording, mapping, and recreating the human mind as software. Though still theoretical, advancements in neural mapping and AI suggest that aspects of memory and personality could be preserved in digital form. AI-based avatars that replicate individuals' personalities based on extensive data analysis are in early development, like Replica, which simulates conversations based on a user's preferences and memories. Imagine your mind as a vast library of experiences. Digital consciousness transfer is like taking that library, digitizing it, and preserving it in a virtual world where it could interact with others, potentially even after physical life ends. Advanced sensors can detect trace chemicals, pathogens, or toxins in the environment, alerting users to invisible dangers. These wearable devices scan for specific airborne molecules or pathogens and signal users about potential threats. Biohazard sensors used by healthcare workers detect chemical and biological agents in the air, providing a layer of safety and awareness in dangerous environments. It's like having a super nose that can sniff out danger before it becomes a problem, giving people an advanced warning to invisible threats around them. Anti-aging biotechnologies focus on cellular repair, genetic modification, and regenerative medicine to slow down or even reverse the aging process. Treatments target telomere shortening, cellular senescence, and stem cell rejuvenation to extend healthy lifespan. CRISPR gene editing shows promise in repairing DNA damage that accumulates with age, while therapies that target cellular senescence are currently in clinical trials to reduce the risk of age-related diseases. Imagine your body as a car that's constantly undergoing maintenance. Anti-aging biotechnologies aim to replace worn parts and tune up systems, extending the mileage you can get out of your physical body. Haptic feedback devices mimic the sense of touch, allowing users to feel virtual objects as if they were real. Combining VR with tactile gloves or suits lets people interact physically with virtual environments, creating a more immersive experience. Companies are developing VR gloves that simulate textures and resistance, making virtual interactions more lifelike, useful in training for high-risk professions like surgery or military operations. It's like feeling the weight of a book, even when it's just an image on a screen. Haptic VR teleports your sense of touch into a digital space, making virtual experiences feel real and tangible. AI can analyse health data to predict outcomes based on genetic, lifestyle, and environmental factors. By processing millions of variables, AI offers personalised health forecasts, potentially preventing diseases before they develop. AI systems like DeepMind analyse complex patterns in medical data to predict the likelihood of illnesses like kidney failure, allowing for preemptive care. Imagine AI as a digital crystal ball for your health, using your medical history and lifestyle data to predict possible future conditions, offering a glimpse into potential health challenges before they arise.